All right, so for the strap, what I want it to do is I want it to come just inside the binding right here, and I want it to be about 2.5 inches, and I want to curve it so that it comes down and it will actually stick out just a little bit on the bottom right there. So it's totally going to be a guess, right? So let's go, actually let me bring that over a little bit more. Let's start it right there, and I'm going to end it somewhere about like that. So what we could do is just go looks pretty good to me. Now we can take, let's see, if we go 2.5 inches, if I go 3 inches, now let's go 2.5 inches. Something about like that. Yeah, I like that. Remember your shoulder. I've seen other backpacks. Most of these, actually that might be a little bit severe of a curve. It might be a little severe, a little straight. Looks like it might be a little straight once it goes over your back. Well, man, no, it doesn't. Once it goes over your back, about like that. That might tend to rub on somebody's neck up there. Is that what that's going to do? No, it'll be down further on your back, so your shoulders are way up here. Ha! Talking out loud. Just talking out loud. Okay, I'm going to leave it. I like it. We're going to do that. So what we need to do now is we need 4 more of these because we need inside and outside because we're also going to pad this guy. So in order to do that, we're just going to go like that. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I like this wheel cutter, sometimes I don't. Let me see what's going to happen. Okay, there's 2. So I'm gonna cut the video because it'll get too long. I'm gonna make 2 more of these and then we'll come back. All right, so here I got the 4 pieces cut out. We've got 2 straps, and right now they can go either way. So let's do this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich this. And so this can be kind of a pain in the butt a little bit. So what I found is just easier. Thread is cheap. Well, not if you're buying, depends on what thread you're buying. But if you come in here and you sew one side down and cut it out, then it's easy to put the other side on the back side and just sew it again. Versus trying to cut the foam out to shape and stack it up there on top of itself and try to get it, you'll wind up missing something. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew this side down, both of them, cut it out, put this on the back side of it, sew it down again, and we'll have our straps made. Now we're going to use the same cutter to come back and all right, now that we have these guys, let's, what I'm doing is I'm lining it up out here so that they're straight. Now, it really shouldn't matter which way they go because it's still going to have the same radius, right? So, but like I said, this is where I want, because it's binding, I want this piece of binding and this piece of binding not to overlap. It'll get too thick. So I want to just come on the inside of it right there. So when we sew the boxing on there, it's not so thick. But before we do that, we need to get some straps on here. Now I've got some 1-inch life jacket buckles, and typically this is the side that breaks. So I'm going to put these on to the straps, and these will be onto the longer strap that'll come from the edge over there. But what we want to do here is take some 1-inch webbing and say let's go about right there. Come down a couple extra inches, and I'm going to take my hot knife. Cut those straps off that length. I'm going to actually base these down. This buckle is going to go on the end of it. But what I also want to do, though, is I want to make how long is that? That's 7 inches. I need 4 straps cut 7 inches long. And then I need 2 straps about 2 inches long. Good. So I'm going to take a piece of basting tape about right there. And I'm just going to baste that on right in the center. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap one of these around there, and then I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm going to wrap another one around there. It's just for aesthetics, right? And we'll sew those on. And then, but underneath this top one, yeah, I think I'll do it on the top one. Underneath the top one, I have some of these D-rings. I'm going to put a D-ring in here, and I'm going to sew that underneath the strap so it's got a little D-ring on the front, just for whatever, make it look cool, right? All right, so we'll do that at the sewing machine. All right, so there you go. It's already starting to take pretty cool shape, right? But before we put these on, we need to get our triangles on the bottom with the other half of this buckle put on there. And this is kind of just a pretty common, most of you may, if you've been fabricating anything, you might have seen this before, but what I want to do is I want to get four, do you want to go 4 or 5? Let's go 4 inches. We need a couple squares cut out 4 inches by 4 inches. Actually, that I might change that to 4 inches by 5 inches, but let me see what it looks like. So what you do with these is you fold it in half once, and then you fold it in half again twice, like that, and then the strap comes out of there. Oh, that'll work. They'll be a little bit small, but that'll work. Let me do that. Let me get some webbing. All right, so just for some rough, we'll adjust these later. I'm going to cut like 18 inches of strapping off, which I know is going to be too much. We'll cut them back after we get it on and get it adjusted and make sure. So let me just cut off a couple of pieces. Make sure that you use your hot knife or a lighter or whatever to seal those off. But so what you do is when this gets folded in, you stick your strap straight in there like that, and then this is going to get sewn onto here, so that, see how the strap is coming up like that? Pretty cool little trick if you've never seen that. So let me sew these down. About an inch above there is what I'm doing. Actually, that might, yeah, about an inch above there. I'm going to go ahead and sew these guys on. And like I said, this is where you want to make sure that you don't overlap the binding, because it just makes it too thick. Right on, so it's starting to look like something, right? We've got a backpack, the strap's gonna go in there. These are gonna be too long, but the way you wanna lace these things is that the buckle wants to go up and your tensioning strap wants to go outside. So you go in from the top, down from the bottom, pull it, and that will cinch up from the outside. So when you clip that on there, that'll tighten up, but it won't release, not until you lift it up. You've seen a buckle before, so it's all the same, but pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, okay, so that's the back. We're gonna leave that as done right now for the back with the straps. Now I'm gonna grab the other piece that we made because I cut the other one out like I've never done any type of fabricating before, but anyways, I got it, it's right here. So now let's make the front. Do some pockets and some what I think is kind of cool stuff in the front.